Good morning. How are you? This is part 6 of assessment planning, and today we are going to talk about communicating the result. Previously we have discussed about purpose of examination, who do we want to assess, when do we want to assess, the content do we want to assess, which method, the number of items, standard setting, and now we are going to talk about is how will the result be communicated to the students. So this video we're talking about this. Let's understand by means of an example. Let us say you scored 77 out of 90 marks. There was a paper. There are many different methods to communicate the result. You may get a paper or an email, or you may see a posted result, and the result could be your name and written pass. It could be your name scored 77 out of 90 marks. It could be percentage score 86%. It could be grade B+. It could be point 2.50. It could be simply a word selected, like simply a word pass. It could be score 68 percentile. It could be Stainine 5. So many ways. So one has to choose by which method the result is communicated to the student. And it will depend upon the purpose for which you took the examination to tell the students their result. That you will understand as I discuss. If you see on this thing, pass score, percentage score, grade B+, 0.2, 0.50, it describes student test result without reference to the result of other students. There is no reference what other students have scored. They may have scored any marks, because it is to understand the degree of the level of mastery of the students, how much actually that student knows, not what that student knows in comparison to other students. And if you talk about selected score 68 percentile, Stainine, etc., Stainine 5, etc., how an individual compares to with other person performance who took the test. Now in this thing it is very important. Not only what the marks he has scored, but what marks have been scored by other students of the class. This is a criterion reference, because there is a criteria. It cannot change. It's norm reference because the result can change depending upon the performance of other students. In here, if a student has attained that competency level, he will pass. It may happen that all may pass or all may fail. Wherein this thing, when we're talking about, irrespective of what score a person has, there will be some scoring less, some scoring more. So let's understand that. Pass, simple, either you pass or fail. Score 77 out of 90 marks. So because in this case the pass score was 45 out of 90. In other words, the standard setters had decided beforehand that the passing score is 50% in percentage of 45 out of 90. In percentage, should say percentage score. One can add percentage score over here to differentiate from this score if one feels like. Simple using the formula. Look at the percentage. Then you can give a grade also and point also, because we have a score, percentage of scores from 0 to 100. We can allot to a range of this percentage score in terms of alphabetical letter or in terms of a numerical letter. So it could be a letter to grade or it could be a number to grade. So let us understand grade B+. Now we know that we have decided this thing. Anybody who scores between 0 and 59% is F fail, because the standard sectors have decided that 60% is the passing score, and anybody scored between 95 to 100 will be A plus grade, then A grade, B plus grade, B grade, C plus grade, C grade, D plus grade, D grade. This is an example which is universally more or less followed, but across the Atlantic, in different colleges, in different universities, they may make their own grade marks. Somebody may say, no, we are not going to. A plus would be between 90 to 100, B would be this and this, and so on and so forth. But usually it is like this. What about point 3.50? Because we can say your grade point is 3.50. Like we would have said, your grade in letter or grade is B plus. Again, marks and points. Those, since we know that below 60% one fails, so we cannot give any point. So for 0 to 59, it is 0 point. And anybody who scores 95 to 100, it is 4 points. And this is how the points are given. Since this is a point which are being done by grading the percentages, this is called as a grade point. When we are doing a course, when we are doing a semester, let us say, there could be different courses in it. So at the end of examination, if in a semester there are 4 or 5 courses, each course will examine separately and give a grade point. And the average of that would be grade point average. And if there are 6 semesters, then when grade point average would be averaged, that would be cumulative grade point average when the student is going to graduate. What about selected? Very simple. If there were 25 vacancies, 100 people appeared, whatever they scored, top 25 were to be taken. So the result they will get is on first 25, name selected, rest may be 2000, it will be not selected. What about the same score can be said as given as 68 percentile? What it actually means is, okay, you performed better than 68% of the other students which appeared in the examination. This is percentile. Then there is Stainine, in which your result was Stainine 5. Stainine is a short form of Standard 9. It is a method of scaling test scores on a 9-point standard scale. Without going into mathematical discussions, let me explain to you very simply. How you calculated all the scores which the students get, they are first put in a ranking order. Now those students who are lowest 4 in that ranking order, their result would be Stainine 1. And those 4% students who scored the highest numbers, that would be Stainine 9. So next 7%, Stainine 2. Next 12%, 3. Next 17%, 4. Next 20%, 5. And if you talk in another way, you want to twist the words, those who scored highest 4%, 9. Then after highest 4%, those who had highest 7%, Stainine 8. That is why you are given the result, if you are this candidate, as Stainine 5. I hope it helps you. So therefore, thank you very much. Have a good and happy day.